Okay, so again, 3 days before, no exceptions. If you aren't getting your lender to do that, look at the repercussions that can happen from that. You could look at your settlement date being expired, having to go back and get an addendum to extend it. You can look at your lock expiring. You can look at the prorations being changed if they have to go back out and change those things. So the lenders are going to have to, and it's not a matter of do better, it's like they're going to have to do it right. Now, one of the things that we don't know is who produces this. Because if you stop and think about that for a second, is the title company going to produce that? So the lender gives them all these numbers that we've talked about so far, and all the software to go there and do that? Or does the lender get all of the software from the title company that produces the prorations and everything and get that all done? It hasn't been defined yet. So far, Wells Fargo Bank has been the only one to say, we are going to do it. We're going to do both the initial and the closing document. But most of the other lenders are going, yeah, I guess we'll figure that out sometime in the next few months. That's going to change a lot of things. And you also can run up against a loan lock that you could lose and miss. Right now, people that aren't able to get their loans closed right now, taking today's interest rates as opposed to when they were 30 days ago, it's about 1/4 to 0.5% off. That's a lot of difference. So now, 3 days before, and one other little thing, if there's any changes in that, it has to be redisclosed, and the 3 days go by. Now, there are a few little things that can change, a little tweaking, but sometimes you get into closing and the borrower says, you know what? My Aunt Mary decided to give me some money to help me with this loan or to buy this home, and so gave me $5,000. So I want to change my loan amount and drop it by $5,000. Okay, that can happen, but then we've got to issue the 3-day disclosure and then get back out to the closing statement after that. Yes?
Determine which are significant changes.
The significant changes are basically defined as if the APR changes, the annual percentage rate. And there's some latitude in there. I think it's 0.05 of 1%. So if the interest rate changes, if the principal balance changes a lot, if they put more down, there's got to be, you refigure out the APR, and if that changes. Also your prepaids, that goes into it. So your prepaid interest, the day you close the loan at the end of the month. So if something comes up, for example, it's new construction, and the house didn't get done, or it got in, the inspection by the city said, you haven't got that right, you have to go fix something. And so maybe you're down 3 or 4 or 5 days later on before it closes, or the appraiser has a problem with the roof that needs to be replaced or something, so now you're down the road a few days to get that done. That prepaid interest can easily change the APR as much as that 5 basis points. So it doesn't take a lot to change that. So again, you want to be snug, you want to be tight on that before you come up with this.
Also includes Saturdays in that 3-day?
Yes, Saturdays included in that 3-day. Now I don't think it can be the 3rd day, but it usually won't be the 4th day. Like if your 3rd day came up on Friday, generally your title companies aren't going to close that on Saturday, but it can be any one of those 3 days. Can you see some challenges coming up from that?
Sure.
It's going to be interesting between the lenders and the title companies.
So this is a 3 days waiting period. Is it business or calendar?
It's 3 days
The same
business
period.
It's
Yeah.
3 days business. Yes?
So what do you think the mortgage industry has to do in order to abide by these new laws? Because as you can tell, what has been the hope so far, like almost, I can't imagine the amount of loans where they've done this, like very seldom.
Yep,
So
I agree.
what do you predict as far as?
So what the loan officers are going to have to do is do their job a lot better than they've done in the past. But that also gets involved in the underwriting process, because it's not always their fault. They're not the lazy guys. Sometimes the underwriters are getting behind, and especially towards the end of the month. Underwriters can only do so much. Sometimes it might be the condition of the property if you've got something that comes up, like I said, an inspection or something. But there's a lot of things that could cause that to go, but your lenders are, no question, the lenders are going to have to step up and do a whole different job. When we taught this class last year, you should have heard the moan and groans from the lenders. Are you kidding me? We're going to have to do that? Yeah, you are. So they've known about this for quite a while. That's why we're bringing it to you guys so that you understand. You can work with them, helping them get the information right the first time, helping them along the way. If you can see, or they can see that they're going to go past that, they're going to have to get back with you. And so you guys are going to have to work really closely to make sure that this goes seamlessly through the whole process. Please.
What about the borrower who wants to go and pre-qualify and before he even starts to look for a home? How does that fit into this whole process?
As far as the disclosure?
As far as them going to their lender and they go to the lender and go through the process and then go back out and look for a property, then come back and go through all this again.
That's pretty much how it's going to have to happen. They go to a lender, maybe it's a lender of their choice, not one, as you suggested, that you chose. But they go to a lender of their choice, they get pre-qualified. But again, they don't have that property address yet, likely. That becomes your opportunity to finish, because of the new definitions of what an application is, to finish the application. So they might go to 2 or 3 places to pre-qualify. And they may have you give that rep sheet to 2 or 3 places. Nothing opposed to that, no problem with that. Then each one of those lenders are going to have 3 days to come up with that loan disclosure, and then they can pick which one they want to go with. It might be yours, may not be yours, but that's part of the process, how the process goes now. Does that answer your question? Okay, other questions on that?